up, Woody Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. Today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Mairimashita Iruma-kun chapter 422. But before I get into this recap and live reaction, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel. And in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because of course this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable little puppy kitty who's somewhere around here, hopefully being good kitties, and this operation, well, again, literally alive and kicking, so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one. Feel free to hit up our Cash App, PayPal, and Coffee. Links are in the description box below, as well as the link to our Patreon where we are doing our anime live reaction content, because unlike YouTube, where we constantly have to worry about getting a copyright strike for showing anything on the screen, well, Patreon, we don't have to worry about that. So we could have our full setup of the anime and manga side by side and have the audio to boot, which is not only great for busting a botched localization or two, but it's great for when we cover anime original content like, say, Digimon Beat Break. And the more views and subscribers we get on Patreon, the more anime we'll cover. And hell, if you're a $10 patron, you get to choose the series we cover as well. And there's a stacked fall anime season in full swing, in which we are covering Digimon, Gotcha Kuda, Togen, Anki, Sanda, Boku no Hero Academia Final Season, and Spy Family Season 3. And there's even more on the way, including Iruma. So please check out our Patreon. The link is in the description box below. So, oh my god, last chapter, we finally got Masaku Iruma. I think the majority, if not the entire Iruma fan base, lost their fucking minds. Like, I've been waiting since, like, the Harvest Festival for this to happen. It was that moment when, you know, we saw Delkira's spirit, you know, talking with Iruma and, like, merging. And I'm curious now what's going to happen. Because what we saw, and I feel like that's why the Demon Gate, like, called to Iruma, was to give Iruma this trial of if he was going to remain human or choose to, like, become a full-on demon, and, like, this was, like, his last chance to go back to the human world. And I wonder if now, because of this transformation that we just saw, if Iruma is like a full-on demon now, if he's a full-blooded demon, if his humanity is gone. I really hope so. I do. Because remember, the fingers know that Iruma, well, Iruma was human. I'm using was for right now. Was human. And there was a couple of other people that knew too. So I'm very curious how this is going to go. God, I really hope that this is just a straight up Masaku situation where Iruma is like a straight up descendant of Delkira, like multiple generations down the line, and that when Iruma came to the demon world, kind of like with when Iruma or Yusuke became a spirit detective, like that's when the genes activated or whatnot. Yeah, that's what I really want that for Iruma. But anyways, let's get into this chapter, see what's in store for us today. And this chapter is titled Again Someday. Ow, what happened? Clara, wake up. This is quite an uproar. Where's Iruma-sama? Asuka, Clara. Yay! Hugs! Thank goodness, I could see you again. Thank goodness. Might as well hug it out. Aw. Amri-chan, are you injured? No, ma'am. Oh, good. Just find a corner to hide in and rest up for now, because things have gotten pretty noisy around here. What in the netherworld just happened, folks? After a fierce battle against Phantom, it looked like the Demon King's key had been defended, but at that very moment, the King's legacy, which demons and who enter are said to never again return from, the great Beyond Gate, all of a sudden 2 demons were pulled into it. The whole venue was in a panic. However, thanks to the young 13 Crowns, Mephisto-sama and Barbados-sama, and a first from the Netherworld, those 2 demons returned from the Great Beyond Gate alive and well. Like, in regards to that, as I said, with Iruma, for his trial, because I think that's what happens in this Great Beyond Gate, is there's a trial for each person. And kind of like with my Toilet Bound Hanoka-kun readers with the Red House. You know how there is a trial, or even with I'll include Mono Wichi in this in a second because I feel like that is part of it too. But I feel like the Red House is more appropriate comparison. To be honest, because if the Red House granted you a wish, well, there's a price to pay with that, and that is, well, your life. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I feel like that's what's going on with that gate. Like, any demon who goes into that gate has to face like this trial, and if they fail, to resist the thing they desire, or they desire most, which is in the case of the Red House, that's what it really is. And if they fail that trial, well, yeah. But if they pass the trial, then they can leave. Because remember what the whole thing is with demons. They are driven by ambition and desire. And hell, remember what Delkira said to Iruma. He said, unleash, and I think even Mephisto said it too. It's unleash, your greatest desire. So that's what I think it is. I think it's, you can make the argument that it's like the Majik trials in Mono Ichi, but I think it's more like the trial in the Red House in Toilet Bound Hanoka-kun. That feels more correct to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. The crowd is going wild. We really have to wonder what those two demons on the other side of the gate. No interview. Yeah. We got to hear the details. Dude, Mephisto is smart for that. You do not want to deal with that. Pardon the interruption. The rest will be handled by Demon Border Patrol's Claw Platoon. So there's the Claw Platoon Colonel, Kamara's Kyrulite. Claw Platoon? Cut the broadcast. We must now inspect the site. So please exit the venue in an orderly fashion. Please refrain from spreading information regarding this matter based on speculation or conjecture. I sincerely thank you for your prompt response to this unexpected situation. 13 Crowns, Mephisto-sama, and Barbados Pachika-sama. As it follows, I have questions for you, both regarding details about the gate. So I'd like you to accompany me back to Demon Border Patrol, but it goes without saying. Let's see. It goes without saying, you two over there as well. I would very much like to hear what you saw on the other side of the gate. There's something sus here. Hold it. This is my jurisdiction. Don't just come stopping in here meddling like you own the place. Hey there, Darkness Lady. I'm sorry, but these are orders from above. As a fellow colonel, you should understand the urgency. I'll appreciate your cooperation. Not my problem. Whatever happens here happens through me. And anyway, those two are still kids. They only just came back from a real ordeal. Let them go home and rest first. I really prefer to hear from them while everything's still fresh in their memories. Be a little more flexible, you work-obsessed blockhead. Oh, quit letting your feelings cloud your judgment, dark matter. That's enough. Yeah! Grandpa, Opera-san! Sullivan-sama of the Three Greats. Oh, Grandpa! Chico-chan, Festo-kun, thank you so much for bringing Iruma-kun back. No, sir, we only did what anyone would. I'll take my grandson home. I'll hear what he has to say about what happened myself. Now this is going to be interesting. I trust there will be no complaints about that. Henry-kun? Yes, Henry! Okay, now this is what I think all of us want to see. Not because there have been so many theories surrounding, like, why, out of all people, why Sullivan picked Iruma. That, like, Iruma, he had a feeling about Iruma being, like, the perfect vessel for Delkira, or hell, that he knew that, that he may have, like, sensed a connection between Iruma and Delkira. In the case of Yu Yu Hakusho, well, for Yusuke, it was just a happy accident because they did like oh my god, what was it? They looked into Yusuke's family history, and they did not know there was a Mazaku up in there. They had no clue. So that's what I'm like, if this is a happy accident situation like Yu Yu Hakusho, I'll definitely be okay with it. But like, I feel like in this situation though, I think this seems different because Koema was not associated with as close with like the Mazaku as say Sullivan was with Delkira. It's just way too much of a coincidence. Way too much of a coincidence. And then there's the other factor here. Let's talk about Henry for a second. Because everyone's been suspecting and theorizing that, and I think I even theorized it too based on what we've seen, that Henry's waifu, aka Amri's mama, was human. And we might actually get the truth behind that. And it could, well, obviously there's Amri like clung on to Iruma, and that's why she was sucked in to the gate. But part of me's like, if this could have been a trial, and maybe this is partially the reason why the gate didn't reject Amri was because of something like that. But that field looked very familiar, and it gotta wonder if I'm so curious if Henry and Amri's mama went through a very similar trial or not. I'm so curious about that. I really hope we get an answer to that in particular. But anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Both these conversations are going to be very interesting, though. Henry, let's see. I trust there will be no complaints about that, Henry-kun? No, sir. Chief Henry, thank you for your quick response and efforts. Excellent work, both of you. Sir, I'll take charge of listening to Amri's story. Father. Oh, here we go. Amri, let's have a talk. A proper one. Yes. Come along, everyone. We'll see you all home as well. Let's go home, Iruma-kun. Yeah, somehow. Grandpa looked like he was on the verge of tears, yet relieved from the bottom of his heart. As I squeezed his hand, squeezed his hand in mine. Sullivan had to have known. Thus, I woke from one night dream about a key, safely returned to the netherworld, and closed the curtain on that mysterious affair at the museum. But I had no idea that this was just the beginning of the incredible turmoil that would come to follow. Remember what happened with the Mazaku with Yusuke? After that shit with Shinsui, that's when all hell broke loose. In the demon world. So, Sullivan had to have known what went down there. He had to have known there was about the trial, and that he was relieved that Iruma chose to stay in the demon world. Or in the underworld. He has to know. He has to know this. He has to, right? I can't be the only one thinking this. He has to know. He has to. Now the other thing, though, as I said, then there's the Henry and Amri, the Henry factor here. I'm really curious if we have a similar situation with Henry and his wife, because if my theory is right, and this is, and the and that door, beyond the gate, if it is similar to the Red House, because that's what it really is kind of giving. It's kind of giving like the Red House in Toilet About Hanoko-kun. That's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. It really is. I think I'm very curious what we're going to get first. Are we going to find out the truth about Amri's family first? Or are we going to find out about the truth about Iruma's connection to Delkira first? Because this right here, what he said, but I had no idea that this was just the beginning of the incredible turmoil that would come to follow. I really do think that soon we're going to find out, we're going to get the truth about Iruma's connection to Delkira. We got to be getting it soon. We got to be getting it soon. But before we get Iruma's connection to Delkira, I want the Amari content first. As curious as I am, and I really want to know about all that content. I want to know. I want to know the shit about Iruma. I want to know if we really do have like a Mazuku situation with Iruma. Like a full-on... Obviously we do have a Mazuku situation to an extent. We do. We really do. But like, I'm talking about like a full-on Mazuku where like he is a straight-up descendant like Yusuke. But in regards to Amari though, we don't know shit. Like, we don't know if what she and Iruma faced in the Beyond the Demon Gate, if it was a trial like the Red House. Because if it is, then that will be like really interesting to see. If like how, especially if her parents went through that trial Beyond the Gate. Because for those of you that remember, for those of you that have read about Hanoka-kun, you guys know what the Will Tsukasa did. The Will Tsukasa basically sacrificed himself to the Red House to save his brother's life. Then we've seen other spirits in the Red House, or like, let me give the other example I was thinking of, not that one. Something that we see in the Red House arc, when we visit the Red House the first time, is the Red House is doing all this shit to tempt Ku, including giving him the option of bringing his mom back to life. And Ku didn't take it. He could have straight up stayed and lived that life. But he didn't do it. He didn't wish for, like, he could have made that wish and fallen for the Red House's trap. But he didn't do it. He didn't do it. And I feel like that's the kind of situation that we're in for here. I do. I feel like we're gonna see Amari kind of go through what Ku did. I just have this feeling we might. Like, actually, fuck, part of me's like wishing that we kind of saw that, but you know what? I have to wonder. This is going to be I'm curious what you guys think now that I'm thinking about the Red House here. I gotta wonder, once both Iruma and Amari find out the truth, and say, for example, that for Iruma, he's gonna have to go through the gate again to, you know, like finish up the like finish up a ritual or something to like fully embrace like Delkira's powers or whatnot. And in the case of Amari, like have to like go through it to like decide if she wants to remain in the demon world, or like if she to confront her mother's humanity. This is if she is human or whatnot. But I'm just putting this out there hypothetically. I'm putting that out there in the universe. Do you guys think if this, like, with the information that we get in regards to Iruma and Amari, do you think that both of them are going to go through the gate and face, and see doors to each possibility, each situation for them? Like Amari, it would be to, like, if Amari's mom is part human, it'd be a door to the human world. That kind of thing. I'm very curious if that's going to be the case. I just have this feeling that we might get something like that. I just do. I feel like also something else that I feel like we're gonna get is the voice that called him in, Iruma in, to go through the demon gate. And I'm leaning that being Delkira. I think that's gonna come into play again. And then with Amari, I feel that's why I'm like, I feel like Amari is gonna get the call to go through the gate. And if she does, I think it's gonna be her mama. She'll hear her mother's voice. The one they desire the most. Because remember, both Iruma and Amari both are seeking, once they hear the truth about their situations, they're going to want to get answers for it. And that would probably be going through the gate. But I'm very curious what you guys think. What do you guys think of what do you guys think the turmoil is going to be? For one thing. As I said, for Iruma, I think it's going to be, the turmoil is going to be very similar to what we saw with Yusuke, like after after Shinsui was taken out, and they had to deal with all these demons and all that, and then because of the political situation that was going on in the demon world, I feel like it's going to be something akin to that. There's a lot that could happen here. There is. I'm very curious though. What do you guys think? And what do you guys think Henry is going to tell Amari? And what do you guys think about what is going on beyond that gate? Do you guys agree with me that this is a Red House situation, which is maybe it's not okay. Maybe it's not as evil as the Red House. I don't think it's as evil as the Red House is. The Red House is a straight up evil being. That Red House is just fucked up as hell. There's more to it than what the Red House is. The Red House is evil as fuck. But there's just something else going on there. There's something else going on with this gate. There's something else going on there. Like, with the Red House, it's trying to find a vessel. If that gate, like, is straight up Delkira, I'm gonna fucking die. But I don't think that's what it is. No, I don't think that's what it is. I know some people, I think, were thinking that might be Delkira. If that is Delkira and it's like, or a fragment of Delkira, I will lose my shit. But I don't think that's the case. No. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Iruma content. If you wish, you could do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, Coffee. Purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.